My brothers and sisters in Christ, today the Church celebrates the feast of the Visitation of the Blessed Virgin Mary, a feast that's not linked to the movable season of Lent and Easter, but instead falls on May 31st each year. But in this case, it happens to fall right after our return into ordinary time, after the celebration of Pentecost. And for that reason, I think today's readings are a wonderful blueprint for us as we go into ordinary time, this time where we're called to, in a sense, allow everything we've heard and seen and prayed upon over these last few months, to allow it to germinate, to allow it to truly take hold, to take deeper roots, to grow, to bear fruit in us. And so, towards this end, there are words both practical and mystical. There are two options for the first reading today, but I simply want to read the second option, which is from the 12th chapter of the letter to the Romans, with this very practical advice for what we should do. Brothers and sisters, let love be sincere. Hate what is evil, hold on to what is good. Love one another with mutual affection, anticipate one another in showing honor. Do not grow slack in zeal, be fervent in spirit. Serve the Lord. Rejoice in hope, endure in affliction, persevere in prayer. Contribute to the needs of the holy ones. Exercise hospitality. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse them. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Have the same regard for one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Do not be wise in your own estimation. This gathering of sayings is a wonderful practical blueprint for daily Christian living. And amongst all the words, my favorite, just personally, is the little threefold tropes in the middle of that reading. Rejoice in hope, endure in affliction, persevere in prayer. I've often used this at weddings as a model for marital life of spirituality, to constantly be hopeful, to rejoice in that, to endure during times of affliction, and in all things to persevere in prayer. And we see this modeled out in the life of the Blessed Virgin Mary, whose feast we celebrate today. And so while this is practical, to constantly have hope and to rejoice, to endure during the times of affliction, and in all things to persevere in prayer, we see that not only does Mary do these things, but the great joyful gratitude that she lives by is a daily principle that we should as well. And so, in the gospel passage today of the Visitation, we hear Mary's great Magnificat. My soul rejoices in the Lord. And so, for us, let this be a model to constantly live lives of rejoicing in gratitude and to rejoice in hope, endure in affliction, and persevere in prayer. May God bless you all.